So this is the tree of growth. Okay, so this is a person. We start here. They go here, there's one emotion. Here there is another emotion. Okay, right side we only have positive emotions, left side we only have negative. And this person is just born. There's two types of childhood: good childhood overall on average, then we have punishment. Okay, a childhood that was very dramatic. Okay, so now we have a choice to make. Okay, now let's just say with whatever first impression that you realize, someone had a good childhood or someone had a tough childhood. Okay, so now, like I said, these emotions are positive and negative. Okay, positive, negative, positive, negative. When you have a good childhood, when you are supportive, when you have a good life, and if you remember, I told you the emotional chart. The next good emotion that you're gonna reach, the higher frequency would be desire. Okay, so when you desire, the frequency of desire is at 125. Okay, the frequency of joy is very high, it's 540. Okay, punishment is like pain. Okay, so I will put this as 10. Okay, now when you're punished, okay, the negative emotion of punishment would be fear. Okay, when you're punishing someone, I wrote it there, so I say it till you as a summer. Okay, so when you are fearful, when you have a bad childhood, the next emotion you're gonna have is fear. Okay, and fear is at what level? Is at 100. Okay, so a good childhood results, if it results in a good emotion, as that child grows in the next environment, they reach desire. A bad childhood, if they reach the next stage of life, let's say this is childhood, okay, we have teenager, okay, we have early adult, okay, we have, like, let's say parents. Here it could change. We have elderly. I just ate bread. Okay, and it goes up. Okay, now let's go back here. So in teenager, in high school, in middle school, this is it. But now we're going to talk about this. So if someone had a bad childhood, but in high school they were able to make changes and they took a turn, and they were able to turn their negativity to good ones, they will reach, they had a good childhood, right? So if everything is good in high school, it's good too. So they're gonna reach pride. Okay, well, pride is a negative emotion. Pride is not a good emotion. Okay, so pride may have a high frequency. They may still be able to bully other kids. This is still higher than that, but still not good enough for the things that you want to go later. Okay, now here we have the next positive emotion. If you had a bad childhood, but you were able to turn this negativity to something good, you are gonna be able to be a courageous person. Okay, so courage is at 200. Now, do you see? The same two people who started at a very low frequency, now just don't do the math for numbers. Okay, just think about the meaning. Punishment is a bad thing, joy is good. So when that person had a good childhood, they were always rewarded, everything was great, parents great, everything fine. And good is good, they're gonna reach desire, they're gonna be able to dream, they're gonna be able to have more confidence, and they're gonna have just basically more desire. In teenager, they could think they can conquer the world. But if the positive, they use it in the wrong way, they could be so prideful and cocky and just popular kid and all of that. Okay, then punishment, the person who used to get beat up, the kid that used to be punished a lot and just was not having a good parent, maybe a parent had addiction, anything that made that kid to remember lots of trauma from childhood. If the next environment is bad, they're gonna become a fearful teenagers at one or the others, at a positive or negative. Next one is, if they're able to turn this to become good friend, to become lovely because they've been there, they know what it is, they're gonna speak up, they're gonna reach courage. Okay, now we're gonna go from here. So we're gonna start, it's easier to go this two because it's the extreme one: positive, 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 negative, negative, negative. Okay, so we're gonna put negative. So now for desire, we have this 2. For pride, we have this 2. For courage, we have this 2. Are you following? Does it make sense to you? And for fear, have this. Okay, again, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. And I made it only 2 emotion because it's easier to understand. Now let's go good childhood, good high school, and everything is good. They're gonna able to turn this desire to willingness. Okay, that's one of the emotions. And here, bad childhood, bad high school, fearful, they're gonna get into shame as an adult. Okay, which is not a good feeling at all. Now the next one that we're gonna fill out is from desire. What's the opposite of willingness? When you're willing to do everything, you're unwilling to do something, so it's apathy. Okay, so good childhood, good high school, suddenly life hits, it becomes negative, you lose everything, you don't want to do anything. Okay, you are unwilling. Next one is from pride. You had a good childhood, good high school, bad high school, it was like a negative emotion. You kind of got cocky, maybe kids bullied you, maybe like you were like a big rich kid, you know, you were like a skinny rich kid. For whatever reason, your high school experience wasn't as good as your childhood. Okay, maybe you didn't have a good character, so you just became prideful in a negative way. So the next emotion, you have 2 choices. Okay, you are able to, actually I'm not going to say this to you, I'm going to tell you this. So courage. So when you had bad childhood and it turned it good in high school, if you want to turn it in good again, it's going to be acceptance. Okay, because you had courage, and at this point you accept your childhood in your early 20s, around like age of 20 to 25. Some people are slower in personal growth, 30 to 30. Okay, it may take you a little bit longer to accept that the pain you had to go through in your childhood from 1 to 10, okay, you didn't deserve to go through that. But if you're able to change this and be able to, let's say here it's from 10 to like 20, and if you're able to change this, you will be able to reach acceptance. Okay, so now from here, if you punished, you felt fear, what's the other one of the shame? Neutrality. You're gonna be neutral. Okay, so now let's go back. Pride, positive pride. So you had good childhood, you had bad high school, but you realize that you should be grateful for what you had. So you will become reason. You will understand what was the reason why you had those negativity, because you don't want it. You want to have that greatness. So you will try to make sense, okay, in a positive way in your early adulthood. But if you're so stupid and you want to use that negativity, those high school kids really pushed you, well, you had a good one. So what you're gonna do, the next one is you're gonna get into guilt. Okay, when you're prideful, you might do things that may cause guilt. You wouldn't know, but it would cause guilt. Just because you're not aware of your guilt, it doesn't mean it's not there. So now here, bad childhood, good teenager, and good adulthood would be acceptance. What's the other word when you can't accept something? I'm asking you, think, what's the opposite word of acceptance? When someone doesn't want to accept, when a kid doesn't want to wear their jacket, what do? They get angry. Do you see how easy it is to understand? But you never seen this chart. You get angry. So this person starts to have anger issues. Around maybe age of 15 to 20 to 25, they may go through anger issues because it starts developing from here and it stays up to here. Okay, so this is very important. When you want to know where is your anger coming from, because it was bad, it got good, and then now you're confused. Is it positive or is it negative? Why was good and it changed? So you get angry because you were feeling those negative energy. Okay, now we're gonna go up. It gets a little bit more difficult. Now positive. Okay, this is the example of this. For example, would be the guy who made Snapchat. Billionaire family, good teachings, everything good. He become a billionaire at such a young age. This would be positive. Kylie Jenner would be so successful. On average, she lived a better life than most of us. So that's why she's there. Okay, now the next one here, would be love. That person would be able to experience love and enlightenment and all those high energies because they're enlightened. Everything was positive. Okay, now here, this person, negative, 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 negative. What's the next negative after shame? It is addiction. Doesn't make sense. Everything was negative. So how quickly you reach this level, you could become addicted at the age of 15, same as this one, and it could go so long, okay? Because you couldn't find anything positive, so you were addicted to maybe porn, maybe drugs or things like that. Okay, so now let's come here. From apathy, then when you are here in the negative, you have apathy, everything was perfectly working. Okay, what you will start to have, you're gonna be fearful. Yes, now it goes crazy here because you're like, oh, this was there, but listen, it's gonna get better. Okay, now let's come here. This person was neutral. Okay, so when you had a bad and you're neutral, you're just like numb to a lot of things, then you will become avoidant attachment. You would avoid a lot of people, you would avoid a lot of things. Okay, you would avoid so many things. So that's what you would get. Then the next one that we're gonna go from here, acceptance. So we were here, courage. You can either be angry at life or you could just accept it. Okay, when you are between these two, when you accept it, there is a positive result. Okay, when you accept it, the result is peace, because you don't have nothing to worry. Okay, you reach peace. So see, even from a bad childhood, through punishment, you could still find a good path. Okay, so now it gets better. Listen, so now what happens to this angry person? Okay, they will also become avoidant. They would avoid parties, they would avoid a lot of things because they're angry. Okay, and now what's left? We had apathy here, from here. Now for reason, this person who was reasonable, what do you think happens to this person who was reasonable? What's the next emotion? They're gonna reach acceptance. Okay, from here, because once they are reasonable, they're gonna accept life, even though it's in the same line, but they're gonna accept and grow. Okay, that's the next emotion. Then from guilt, there's nothing really here, you're gonna be stuck here. In guilt, you're stuck. I'm gonna come back here. Okay, now let's come back here. So you're avoidant. Okay, and you accepted here and you had peace. Okay, after peace, when you reach peace, when you reach a good level of life, okay, peace is kind of like desire. Okay, it's in a way that you have peace. Now you kind of start from the bottom. Okay, so now when you have peace, you have two choices. When you reach peace, you're either gonna teach people how to have peace, share. You would be willing to share. Okay, or you're gonna keep it to yourself and you're gonna be stingy and you're gonna be prideful about it because you overcame something, right? Do you see how the chapter is repeating a lot of the memories and experiences you have? So this is it. Do you see how it makes sense going from one emotion to another? So after this, I'm going to tell you how you can address which tree and which path you're going through. Okay, so now we're there. Then let's say when you have fear of life, so you had joy and you would desire, then apathy, and you have fear of life, fear of age, you have fear of a lot of things. So when you have fear, you have two options: to have the positive one and the negative one. The positive is faith, the negative is to give up. That's where suicide happens. Okay, do you see it? From good family, it could happen. Okay, it doesn't mean none of these are going to be connected here. I'm going to get there. Okay, so now when you reach faith, you could do anything. Okay, everything is possible through God. So there's nothing really after this. It's just love. These two are here. Okay, again, when you reach love again, you also have the same choice. Okay, love comes here, not to this emotion, to this bottom. After love is faith. No, after love is this one. You either share it or you are prideful about it. Okay, this is where love goes. So once you reach the highest one, you have two choices: to share it, to teach others, to be a content creator, to be a doctor, to share your knowledge, to be a parent, to give, or to be prideful and be stingy. Okay, now let's go back here. Now you became this people who are avoidant, the people who can't fall in love, the people who are stressed. What are they going to do? After avoidant, you have two options: positive and negative. You're going to become addicted. When you're avoiding people, when you're avoiding something, you're going to get addicted to something else, because you're constantly avoiding something. You're constantly avoiding it. So where does addiction come from? From this. You're avoiding an emotion, you're avoiding something. Where is this avoiding coming from? From this anger. This anger comes from where? From childhood. Okay, from you not having any reason and acceptance in your life, from you not being able to make sense out of your life. That's where the avoidance comes. Okay, so now we're here. So how do we save ourselves from addiction? And this doesn't mean addiction only happens here, but usually addiction happens from. So how long it takes you to get out of that? So addiction, there's two. Okay, positive, negative. Positive is faith. Okay, negative is give up, it's death. Okay, so that's how it happens. Okay, it's sad, it's getting dark, but that's just how it works. Okay, then you reach faith, and again, when you have faith, you have joy. Like your childhood, you feel like a child, you fall in love, you're happy. So then you have an option to share. Do you want to play games with me? Do you want to eat this cookie? That's what you would do. Share or be prideful. Okay, now we address this side. Now we're going to come back to this side. Does it make sense? Are you following? So now the next thing is from giving up here. Okay, again, that's death, but this is not going to be suicide here. Okay, not so much, because you still had a higher base. Another option after this, between death and the other one, positive, is you're gonna, not even death, it's gonna be regret. Okay, here is gonna be accept again. See, because you were about to give up, you were sad, but then you have two choices from here. Instead of giving up, even if you have no faith. Okay, so in order to build this, you have to either accept or to regret. Because when you had this fear here, you had the choice to have faith or to give up. So you didn't choose faith, so you lost this emotion. So now you're stuck in giving up. So when you're here, you're punishing yourself, you're sad, you're like talking down, like, why did I do this? I should have tried harder, So if you keep overthinking here, you're going to be stuck here. Okay, so you're either going to accept it and look for a solution, educate yourself that no matter what happened, it's over, or you're going to regret it. You're going to keep regretting. Okay, now from regret, there's two emotions again. You can choose to have faith. Okay, that is going to change, because that's what you need to change. Or you're going to have apathy, because when you regret, when you think like it's over, then you're just going to live long and not really attempt suicide, but you're just going to be depressed your entire life. Okay, and you're going to be in depression. Okay, what's the emotion of depression? Here, bottom, fear, shame, punishment, addiction. You're going to come back down to this path. Okay, so now from acceptance, you're gonna go here. From acceptance, you're gonna go back to the positive emotions. Okay, from here you're gonna go DWL, positive. Okay, what does it mean? Here, when was the last time we wrote acceptance? We wrote acceptance somewhere here. Acceptance. Okay, so what did I write? We're gonna write after acceptance, you're gonna do, where did I wrote it? A DWL. I don't know why I wrote that. I'm gonna find out later, but don't worry about it. So here, when you share it also, you're gonna be enlightened. Okay, does it make sense? So now from here, this pride that we had, okay, there was this pride here. When this pride comes here, from this acceptance, there was another pride that was coming, but I didn't write it. Give up. Where is the give up? My handwriting is really bad. Give up, give up, give up. And then there was regret. But anyways, where did I write? Here, after pride. You go enlightenment, share. Anytime you don't share, basically you reach pride. So when you have pride, from pride, you're just gonna be stuck in these emotions, okay? So at the end, I got confused because what I wrote originally is this one, which is more organized. But when I'm trying to explain to you guys, it looks dirtier, okay? So this is like the path, all right? So now if you do the numbers and do the math, this is how you're gonna address to see what emotion you have, what emotion you had for a specific amount of years. You can always choose reason, okay? This is the emotion, okay? This is how you can change everything, okay? Bye.